Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 8 of the manufacturer series. Let's get this started. Your first braking point is shortly after you pass this sign that goes over the curbs. You won't be using all of your braking power, you just want to use some of it so you can bring yourself all the way to the inside and stick to there until you need to start to accelerate your way out. Then brake when the curb on the right starts, bring yourself all the way to the left side of the track. Then you'll use some throttle, use a little bit of braking so you can position yourself to go over the red sausage curbs. You want to make sure that the tires don't make any contact with those red sausage curbs as they give a chance of making the car unstable and lose control. Bring yourself to the right and your next braking point is before the curb on the right starts. Brake as much as you can in a straight line, then slowly start to ease off on the brakes as you turn in. Try to be gentle with your throttle input as it's possible for some cars to want to lose control if you start to accelerate too aggressively. Use a little bit of braking when you reach the gravel on the left, bring yourself to the right. Now use a tiny amount of braking when you reach the gray and orange barriers on the right and just focus on getting the car to rotate. Be patient with your throttle input once again. Brake when you reach the black area on the left, just brake hard for a moment, then ease off on the brakes. Wait until you reach this third apex right here before you can start to fully accelerate. Your final braking point will be right after the wall on the right ends. Make use of the width of the track, so you're going to go all the way to the far side of the track. Do not get on the black area, just focus on getting the car to rotate and then you can start to fully accelerate your way out. But anyways, that is all for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. For the qualifying session, you only have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time. There are a couple ways that you can go about this qualifying session. The first way is to just go all out and just do as many laps as you can. The second and third ways involve burning fuel, but one of them will involve going to the pit stop and getting a new set of racing medium tires, and the other one you just don't get a new set of racing medium tires as the tire wear is actually pretty low, so you won't be feeling that tire wear that much compared to other races. So we're going to skip on over towards the end of the first lap, and at this point you can do one of 3 things. The first one is to continue fuel burning but go to the pit stop and get a new set of racing medium tires. The second one is to just keep on going, pass by the pit stop and keep fuel burning. And the third one is to actually start speeding up right before this hairpin that we're going through and start your flying lap. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and get a new set of racing medium tires as I want to try to stay behind this car so I can make use of the slipstream as we start our flying lap, which will be the next lap. So skipping on over to the start of the flying lap, I'm going to make sure that I have enough space between myself and the car in front of me so I can still get the slipstream benefits, but at the same time I don't have to slow down because I'm too close to them. And one thing that I do want to mention is that when you go through this chicane coming up, you want to make sure that you get them right. Whether you're going around the sausage curbs or you're trying to go over them, you just want to make sure that you don't make contact with the sausage curbs as they will mess you up and it will really affect your qualifying time. In this qualifying session, I actually made contact with the sausage curb, so it's going to affect my qualifying time in a negative way. And we're going to go ahead and skip on over to the end of the qualifying session. I'm going to end up getting a 138, so hitting the sausage curb on the chicane affected me in a negative way. I made a couple other mistakes as well throughout the lap, so that's also going to hurt my qualifying time. And yeah, so you want to make sure that you really get your turning points, your apexes, get all that stuff right, especially when you go through the chicane. For the racing strategy, this is an all-out race. you don't need to go to the pit stop at all. So before I talk about the tire wear, I do want to mention about the chicane that's coming up ahead. And what you want to do is ask yourself if you want to try to go over the sausage curbs or around them and just stick to it. So for example, in this case, I'm just going to go around them. Even though my times will be a little bit slower because I'm not going over them, I can rest a bit easier knowing that I don't have to worry so much about hitting the sausage curbs if I'm trying to go over them. Because if you try to go over them, yes, if you get it right, it will shave off a bit of time, but at the same time, if you try to go over them and one of the wheels makes contact with that sausage curb, it will mess up the car's balance and you risk losing control. So that's something that you just want to be a bit aware of. As for the tire wear, you just want to adjust your brake balance so you can try to get as even of a tire wear as possible, so that way your times won't be getting too affected negatively towards the end of the race. Most cars should do fine here in terms of tire wear. For example, here with the Porsche Cayman, I was doing just fine. I didn't really feel the tire wear until the very last few laps. But if you're in a front wheel drive car or in a four wheel drive car, you'll be feeling that tire wear a little bit more. Just make sure that you try to bring that brake balance towards the back of the car so you can try to at least get some of the tire wear off of the front tires and a bit more towards the back. And last but not least, fuel is not an issue at all. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this guide. Once again, this is just an all-out race. No need to go to the pit stop at all. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.